Hi everyone, today I'm here to show you how to do this chevron blanket using the Hag Stitch designed by Yarn Hag Ryan. Okay, let's get started and see what we need today. We will be working on the baby size blanket. If you're looking for a different size blanket, you can head down below to the link and it'll be to my website for the free pattern for this blanket, and you can see how to change it to be a bigger blanket. Now, for this blanket, I use 4 colors. This is something I got at Hirschner's. I used a gradient of 4 colors. You could also use 3. For this, we would do a repeat of each color 3 times. If you're only using 3 colors, you would just repeat each section 4 times. You will also need scissors. You will need a needle to weave in your ends. And then for this yarn, for this, it's kind of fluffy, I prefer a K-hook. If you're not using a worsted weight yarn, or if you're using a thinner worsted weight, I recommend going up 1 hook size from what is suggested on the yarn. Now, this baby blanket took about half of each of these skeins. There's about 450 yards in here, 489 yards in here, so it's about 250 yards of each color to make this blanket. Okay, we're gonna get started on this blanket. Now, this baby blanket will be size 34 by 36 inches. If you're looking for a different size, go ahead and check the website link down below, and it'll tell you how many chains to make for a bigger blanket, or how to modify it to make it the size you'd like. So we're gonna start by working a half double crochet decrease. So I'm gonna yarn over, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the 3rd loop. So we've got 1, 2, 3, there's the 3rd loop. Put our hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over again, put our hook in the next loop, yarn over, pull up the loop, we're going to yarn over and make our half double crochet decrease. Now we're going to make 9 half double crochets in the next 9 chains. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let me just double check, make sure I have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got my 9 half double crochets. Now what I'm going to do in this next loop is put 3 half double crochets in there. So I'm going to put 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 3 half double crochets. Okay, I've got my 1, 2, 3 half double crochets right in that chain. Now I'm going to make 9 half double crochets going down. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I've now done my 9 half double crochets down. So the next thing we're going to do is skip 2 chains. So we're going to skip 1, 2. The next 2 chains, yarn over, put your hook through that loop, and make another double crochet. Or half double crochet. So we've skipped 2, made a half double crochet, and now this is our first of our next 9. So we're going to make 9 half double crochets up the side. So that's 1, I'm going to make 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to make our 3 half double crochets in the next chain. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So we've gone up for our next little V-stitch or V section. Now we're going to go down 9 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we've gone down 9. So now we should have our 2 V's so far. Now I'm only making a swatch, so I'm gonna start just like we've been doing. I'm gonna only do one more V. But what you're gonna do now is you're gonna skip 2 and do 9. So for the rest of your blanket or your chain, you're gonna skip 2, half double crochet 9 in 9 chains, and then you're going to do 3 half double crochets in 1 chain, 9 half double crochets down, and you're going to keep doing that until you have 2 chains left, and I'll be right back to show you that. So at this point I have 2 chains left, so you should have skipped 2, done your 9 half double crochets up, 3 half double crochets in the next chain, and then 9 half double crochets down. So you should have repeated that over and over again, and then what you're going to do with these last 2 chains is a half double crochet decrease. So you're going to do your partial half double crochet and then another partial half double crochet to make your half double crochet decrease. Okay. So now we're going to work on this stitch. So this makes a nice fluffy stitch, and it's easy, a nice fluffy stitch that will then be repeated every row for the rest of the blanket. So what you're going to do is start by doing another half double crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches. So this is the first stitch and the second stitch. Go ahead and do your half double crochet decrease. Okay, and those are worked, let me show you that. So those are worked right in the usual spots you would in the little V's for the half double crochet decrease, right in the V's. So let me work those in there. Okay, now we're going to be working in the 3rd loop and then the back loop. So for the next stitch, we're going to be working in the 3rd loop. So go ahead and yarn over and make your half double crochet in the 3rd loop, and then make your next half double crochet in the back loop, so the back of that V. And then your next stitch should be in the 3rd loop. And then your next stitch should be in your back loop. So you're going to do this until you have 9 stitches, and you're starting with your 3rd loop and then going to your, starting with your 3rd loop and then you're going to the back loop. And you would do that a repeat of 4 times, and then you will finish with 1 3rd loop half double crochet to get you your 9 half double crochets. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we left off on that back loop. So now we're going to go to the 3rd loop and then the back loop, and then going back to the 3rd loop, and then the back loop, and then the third loop. So let's stop and check. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have our 9 half double crochets to get us up this little mountain. And if you can see, the third loop or the third loop stitches are raised, so that's how you can tell where to count. So you start your first raised stitch, and then your next one will be back, so you count. That's how you can count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because your next stitch will be your 3 half double crochets, and that will be worked right in your regular V-stitch as it normally would. So just make sure when you're doing the stitch, it'll be hard to tell which it's in. But if you see this stitch right here is in this third loop, that V lines up with this third stitch, so it will not go there. So you're going to go to this one, your next one. Yarn over and make 3 half double crochets in this stitch, and just doing your regular half double crochets. Okay, so you have your 3 half double crochets, and now I'm going to make 9 stitches going down just as we did before. And when you make these 9 stitches going up or down, you're always going to start with a third loop half double crochet, and you're always going to end on a third loop half double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, put my hook through that third loop, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, and I'm going to go through the back loop. That's 2 stitches. Then I'm going to go through the third loop, and then the back loop. It's 4 stitches. Then the third loop. It's 5 stitches. 6 stitches in the back loop. So now I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've done 3 of the front loops and 3 of the back loops. So I'm going to do 1 more of the third loop, 1 more of the back loop, okay, and then I finish this round with 1 more third loop half double crochet. So I've done the third loop, back loop, I repeated that 4 times, and then I did 1 more third loop to finish. Now what you're going to do is skip the next 2 stitches. So you're going to skip this stitch and this stitch. And then you're going to go ahead and in this third stitch, you're going to half double crochet in the third loop. Okay, so you half double crochet in the third loop, and then you're going to half double crochet in that back loop. And you're going to half double crochet in the front loop, half double crochet in the back loop, half double crochet in the front loop, third loop, half double crochet in the back loop, half double crochet in the third loop, half double crochet in the back loop. So let's see what that puts us at. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 1 more in the third loop. So we now put it on all the loops. And if you're wondering where to count, if you see that little hole there where I'm sticking my finger, that's where you've skipped to, and that's where you should start counting right after that. So now we're going to go to the top, and in the next stitch we're going to make 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now we're going to do the same thing going down. We're going to make our 9 stitches, 1 in the third loop, 1 in the back loop, 1 in the third loop, 1 in the back loop. So I'm at 4 stitches. Third loop puts us at 5. Sorry about that. Got a call from school and they cut off my phone. So where were we? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. So we've done our third loop, back loop, third loop, back loop, third loop, back loop. So I have to do 3 more stitches. I'm going to go in the third loop and then the back loop and then the third loop. And then I'm going to skip 1, 2, and then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to make my 9 stitches, starting with the first one in the third loop, and then I'm going to do the next one in the back loop, and then front loop, back loop, front loop, back loop. I'm sorry, I keep saying front loop. It's third loop, third loop. So what am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then I'm going to make 3 half double crochets in the next stitch, right in the usual V stitch. That's 1, it's 2, and then that's 3. Okay, so you're going to keep going like that. You're going to do your 9 stitches, either 9 stitches going down, starting with the third loop. Then the next stitch is going to be in the back loop, and you're going to repeat that for 4 times, and then end with 1 more in the front loop. Then you're going to skip 2 stitches and put a half double crochet in the third loop of the front stitch and go up to do your 9 like you've been doing, and then 3 at the top in the V-stitch. So let me go ahead and go down and I'll show you what we do for the last 2 stitches. So let's go ahead and do it one more time. Doing my third loop, back loop, front loop, back loop, third loop, back loop, front loop. Okay, so I've gone down and now I have 2 stitches left. So the last 2 stitches, I'm going to do a half double crochet decrease in these 2 stitches. So let me decrease there. So these half double crochet decreases will always be in the regular V-stitch on the last 2 stitches. And if you have trouble finding the last 2 stitches, I recommend putting stitch markers in. And even if you're struggling to make sure that you have the 9 stitches, after you do your 3 half double crochets or your skip 2, I would put a stitch marker in that first stitch, the first of the 9, and the final stitch of the 9. That way, when you're making the 9, you know that when you hit that last stitch marker, then you're done and you're back to your 3 half double crochets, if that helps. Okay, so you're pretty much doing the same thing over and over again. It's the same repeat for the whole thing, and you will do 7 rows of each color. So you do 7 rows in your first color and then switch to your next color for 7 rows, and you're going to keep going like that. And I did 3 repeats of a round of 4 colors for all mine, but you can keep going till it's the height you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and do one more row off camera and then just show you what it looks like, how the cool texture comes in. As you go, it'll be a nice squishy texture and it will continue on like that. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or go ahead and check out the website with the pattern. Have a great day and don't forget to like and subscribe.